so let's start. Okay, so thank you everyone. Welcome everyone to join our web D&M webinar titled Boost Your Design Efficiency, Efficient Data Management for Engineering Design and Production. Okay, so this webinar will be, the trainer will be Sai, our design and manufacturing managers for Asian, Data Asian. Yeah, okay, so I will pass over to Sai for the webinar. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. So thank you for attending. So this is our bi-weekly webinar, which we often do. Okay, we just change up the topics. Okay, so today's session is more towards the data management of engineering designs and production, more solely for engineering and design team. Okay, so today's session is not much into the designing of components, of part design, animation simulations or anything. It's more towards how to manage the data. Okay, so the main focus for today is Autodesk Vault. Okay, so a quick introduction. So my name is Syed. So I'm the design and manufacturing manager for Autodesk Solutions. So we are from DayTech, or in Malaysia, our name is TechD. So we are the global distributors for Autodesk Solutions. Okay, so we're not just in Malaysia, so we are available globally as well. Okay, so let's just start, see if anyone else coming in. So it's okay. So first, let's start with a bit of digitalizations, where usually a customer visions of digitalization is all their sales department, all their sales, engineering, purchasing, suppliers, production, after sales services. So basically everything in the companies falls under one same digital thread, where end-to-end data and process are shared among each others from a centralized locations where everybody have access to. Okay. Okay, but along the way, so increasing data needs along a product life cycles, where every department works with different types of files, different types of documents. Like example, sales working with cost portfolio, engineering probably working with all the 3D models, drawings, deliverables requirements, okay, and managing changes and tasks day in and day out. Purchaser getting to confirm the parts they want to purchase, the quantity or the quality. Okay, supplier, production, and services, everybody have their own concerns. Okay, so what happens nowadays is disconnected personal data sources, where everybody keeping all their own data. So example, when a purchaser wanted a new updated drawing, keeps asking the engineering team or design team for new updated drawings. Okay, where this happens every day, probably multiple times every day, where new versions of drawing is being asked. Okay, suppliers, productions, which require confirm and approved drawings to proceed with machinings. Okay, services waiting for new updated installation guide and so on. So all that manual data flow, which is not manageable, okay, not managed by some applications, solutions. Okay, so all that is considered manual data flow, which is error prone and requires effort. Okay, and often delays because others are doing maybe more productive tasks or more urgent tasks, when you request for something, you need to wait. Okay, something that is very hard to handle with during ad hoc situations, and it could be very slow. So crucial engineering data needs complexity, cat and bomb conversions, and the change frequency. You know how design, parts updates, component updates often change. Okay, so this frequency probably is not really, I mean, other department than engineering probably not very much aware of the changes or new updates or new versions. So they keep asking for more updates. Okay, so now let's look at under engineering efficiency. So what is considered engineering efficiency under this PDM, or product or project data management? So something that easy to be manageable with CAD and in. Basically, it works within the CAD environment, okay? Or not just CAD environment, probably other app environments, so maybe like in Excel, in Words, okay? Teamwork where log and work folders are accessible, so you can define where work folder and you can define log folders, and also security. You can control who can see what, who can do what in that folders. Release control, approval of the drawing, approval of the documents, CAD to BOM, CAD to bill of materials. Oftentimes, the bill of material from the drawings may be missing out few more usable items, so probably like grease and things which need to be added on later. Okay, save time for file conversion, viewing, markups. Okay, so we can compare, search, and reuse, and also things automations of CAD automation available within the same environment. So product data management or project data management, the foundation of secure, reliable, and performance data management. Now we look into the so I think a lot of people have seen this kind of images, okay, many times. So if you are common, if you are regular to this kind, this webinar where we often do it like monthly or maybe bi-weekly. So I often use these images. Okay, so this just to sum up what happens in the factory floor. Okay, so everybody has their own file format where they work with. Okay, and everyone keep asking of files or updates from design and engineering teams, where it becomes very peak over here. Okay, and then you can see back and forth sharing of data through USBs, PDF, emails, and so on. Okay, so when we talk about data management or product data management, so oftentimes it's relate back to these few key points. So which is version control, file history, doing concurrent designs, okay, access control to track revisions, and so on. So this is the common jargons or maybe words that's been used in the factory. Okay, so without a proper data management, so where is the area of inefficiencies? So things like file naming example, so revisions management. So you need standard. Okay, every company have their own standard file naming. So maybe to name it final drawing, final for real. Okay, so this still happens every day. Okay, so I did check with some people, they are still doing this, renaming the files by dates and maybe times. Okay, so manual revisioning, server performance where the data is stored in a server where everybody have access to that server. Collaboration where people use emails, USB, maybe nowadays people share drawings or 3D model using WhatsApp. Okay, share folders where when you give some access, give share folder access to somebody, they have the permission to read, write. Means that they can accidentally deleted the files and nobody will know who deleted the files. Okay, so now we go into the pictures of Autodesk Vault. Okay, so where Vault is most commonly known as the product data management or PDM solutions of Autodesk Design and Manufacturing. It is on-premise, so it's not on cloud, but we can extend the Vault capability towards cloud to share to external parties, which is no worry. So the 3 points that often bring highlights to Vault is the easy administrations, easy installation, easy administrations of the products. Okay, it integrates with Autodesk design tools. So basically it can work in your AutoCAD, your inventors. Okay, so this helps to connect internal and also external teams. Okay, so why Vault? So it's more than CAD file management. It works with all the relevant file format. in a project, Excel, PDF, Words, okay, enterprise enable platforms, we can extend its usage towards Azure and AWS, okay, so it can integrate with multiple platform, okay, supported distributed team as well, so it's not just example, so you have one factory in Malaysia, maybe another one in Singapore, and maybe another one in Thailand, so we can create a multi-site replication where everybody is accessing the same data. Okay, so it's centralized for all 3 locations. In this case, 3 different countries. Okay, so Vault PDM integrates with all these tools. So of course, the main one is all the Autodesk applications. So you can see Atlas, AutoCAD, Inventors, even with Microsoft Office, PDF, and other design softwares like SolidWorks, Specific Creo, and more. Okay. All right. So how it looks, I mean, centralized storage. So how's the infrastructure looks like? So to make it simple, so it require a server. Okay, it could be a database, a file store server. Okay, and then the client PC or maybe the user's PC is connecting to the server. And everybody will have like a local directory for temporary storing. Let's see. I see some hands. If you have questions, you can write at the chat box first. Okay. All right. So basically, how's the file hierarchy? How's the file structure? So basically, what Vault or maybe our so-called working folder. In this case, I use example as C, okay, and underscore working as our local working folder. So it will not every time save a file to these locations, only the time when we choose to maybe work offline, or maybe we want to keep a local copy. So this is where the file will be stored. And the file structure or the file hierarchy within Vault and also the Windows Explorer is the same. So we follow the same file folder structures. Okay, as you can see on the top right-hand side, okay, that's screenshots. Left-hand side, the gray color is inside Vault Professionals interface. The black color one is on my Windows Explorer interface. Okay, so what happens when you put your files into Vault? Okay, like as I mentioned earlier, so not just drawing files, so not just 3D model files. Okay, so first thing first, it detects the time and date and the person who upload or maybe check in the files into Vault. Okay, in the red box you can see. Okay, and all the informations of the file you can see on the right hand side. So this is Vault interface. You can see who's the originator, the author, check by company. This is pretty standard information that usually comes with CAD drawings or CAD files. Okay. Okay, Vault security. So Vault are able to control permissions and security by role-based permissions, or maybe object-based security and also state-based security. So role-based is like, so let's say we just giving our shop floor permissions to just view approved files. So we can choose some of the roles here that suit that requirements. Or we can control the security based on the permission. You can see something like administrator are able to read, modify, delete, download. Okay, we can create one special role also. So maybe a shop floor only able to read, but not allowed to modify, delete, or download, because everybody will have their own sign in, okay, their own account to access. Okay, state-based security. This is something like, so whenever the file is work in progress, so we can also control who can make changes, who can delete the files. So if the file is in review, who can only control the files. So like example, after I'm an engineer, so I work on the drawings. I send it to review to my manager. My manager only able to open, view. So when it's in this stage, so when it's in review state, other people or other engineer, even myself, are not able to edit, okay? Until my manager who's doing the reviewing approve or delete the drawings. Okay, so then it goes to the next state. So if he rejected the drawing, it will go back to work in progress. If he approved the drawing, it will go to the next stage, maybe a release. Okay, this state is customizable up to depending on company requirement. So auto versioning, so we can see after we load the files to Vault, it automatically do versioning. So every time with every click of save, it will save the new versions. Okay, you can see who made the changes also, who made the save also will be captured, and the time will be captured as well. Okay, so you're able to capture file history, compare files side by side, and restore to previous versions. So in the case where we always save files, save the new versions, so the older version is not so-called replaced. It is somehow still stored in Vault. Okay, the metadata is still stored. So every time we want to revert back to older versions, we are able to do it because Vault is maintaining the files for our usage. Okay, so here is an example of how it looks like inside Autodesk Inventor. So it basically, and then this is Autodesk Vault interface. So in here, what we can do, so we can open a file straight from our design software. So in this case, it's Inventor. So we can open the file straight from Inventor. Okay, so in this case, so I want to check in. Check in is equal to save. So we are saving the files to Vault from within Inventor. So from here, I can just run a scan to include all related files. So like in this assembly, it understood the relationship of all the parts, assembly, drawings. So if we have any reference file, it will include together to be loaded into Vault. Okay, so once I load it, okay, so I just refresh in Vault. So now it's showing all the file has been uploaded into Vault. So we can see the dates and time, the person who saved the files into Vault. Okay, so where is this assembly used? This assembly is used in these drawings. It will show that this has drawings. Okay, so let's say button there. So it is used under assembly and also under the drawings. So we can view from within Vault. So let's say now I'm logging in as someone else. So previously using engineers sign in. Now we're using designer sign in. So again, we go back to the same location. So from within Inventor, so I can open. So open just to view. So we can view this. Okay. So we can see that from on left-hand side from our browser. So I can control and see if I want to work with the whole assembly, or I can choose the parts that I want to work with only. So I don't have to like take out everything. So in this case, I just want to work with this file called button. Okay, so I bring out the file from Vault and make some edit, make some changes, and then just maybe change the material or change the color a little bit to show the differences between previous versions and the current versions that I'm working with. Okay, so since that part already have drawing previously, so all the changes is also updated. Okay, so in this case, we're just adding some dimensions to update the drawings. Now we can see that from our Inventor browser, I can just check in the files. Okay, so now we're checking in the drawings and also the part files because there are changes. So once I save it into Vault, okay, So just save the assemblies again, just to make sure I update everything correctly. So now I just go back to my Vault and I just refresh and I can see there's a new version now. Okay, a new version for the part files and also a new versions for the drawings. So we can see, we can preview it from within Vault. We don't have to use Inventor or the 3D modeling software to view. Okay, like in this case, so I have two versions, right? Version 1 and version 2. I can compare it side by side. Okay, version 1 and version 2. So I can compare them side by side to see the differences. Of course, we can do basic measurements and so on. Okay, so on the right hand side, you can see the properties where the properties that comes in with the CAD files. Right, so that is what happens when you put drawing files into Vault. Okay, apart from that, so we are also able to use automatic file naming, where we can preset our naming template, file name template, so that it's easier for the users, okay, to choose from the drop-down menu instead of manually typing. Okay, so all the information, usually how we do it, so before we start implementing, so we need to gather all the information from customers, so and then we preset it inside the Vault, so it's ready to use by the customer, so when it's ready to go live. Okay, so a copy design is just like how it names. Okay, it's used to copy a design. So you know how inventors it can identify the relationship between projects, assemblies, right? So we can use that information to create, duplicate, and also rechange the relationship between the parts to the assembly and to the projects. Okay, so something like this, so we can reuse and change whatever we want. Okay, so example, we have two assemblies where I want to reuse the part from the first assembly. So I can just reuse it and make sure I rename it according to the new project, so that it will not, the assembly will not look for the original files. Of course, we still can do that, no problem. But in case we want to create a duplicate copy of the parts or the assembly, so we can also do that. Okay, so Vault copy. So reuse engineering knowledge efficiently. So this is where it works really very well with Inventor. Okay. So like in this example over here, so I just want to copy this design. Okay, so this is one assembly. So I copy, so I can copy the whole, we call it branch. Okay, so all the files, so we can rename the prefix. Okay, change the prefix all directly without even going to one by one. So we can simple as find and replace. Okay, and replace with what prefix and what suffix, so that we don't have to manually save as each and every files. Okay, so once within a few minutes, so we already create duplicate assemblies with a new file names, a new relationships that is not going to go back to the original files. So like in this case, this knob, make some changes a bit here and there. Okay, and then just update, so we can put some remarks every time we save. Okay, so modify knob and level just to update the assemblies. So now you can see there's a new versions. After copied, it's now modified knob and level arm. So you can see the first one, okay, modified knob and level arm. Okay, so you know how we always think of like, oh, I created this part before, but I can't remember where is it, right? So Vault can help to find this part for you. So it will search the whole Vault, okay, to look for a similar geometry that that you want to use. So you can run the whole Vault and it will tell you, give you a list of things that probably is duplicate. Okay, so it's not just searching for file name. It's looking for a geometry, similar geometry, even with a different material, different density, and different colors. So it will able to detect as well. Okay, different orientation, or maybe even a mirror components. Okay, all right. So next.
Search, but for your 3D components, Vault Duplicate Search smartly compares 3D shapes within the thousands of CAD files that you have within your database. You know you can reduce design and development time by reusing existing parts, but finding an appropriate part in your database can be challenging when you only have a file name or some metadata to search on. Duplicate parts in your engineering supply chain can cost your company thousands of dollars in redundant design, documentation, approval, release, and data management rework. Duplicate Search in Autodesk Vault Professional is a new subscription feature that helps you to reveal where duplicate parts exist in your designs, to save you time and money and increase standardization across your company. In this example, we can see a new design that's not yet been checked into Vault. As we run a duplicate search, Vault is queried for components that match the geometry of our existing design. If we see a part that looks like a good match, we can replace the part within our designs with an existing file from Vault. When we're confident that we're not introducing new duplicates to Vault, we can check the design in. As we check in the design, Vault will scan the new parts we've introduced and add them to the duplicate index. But how can we detect existing duplicates in Vault? The new duplicates dashboard gives us an overview of the number of potential duplicates we have in our Vault. We can now create a duplicate report and begin assessing how we can add value to our business by removing duplicates from the database. Duplicate Search in Autodesk Vault Professional helps you to reduce design time and downstream search, but for your
So that is examples of how duplicate search work. Next, we look into release management. So how a file flows from one stage to the next. Okay, so of course, this flow or this file flow is customizable. So in this example here, so from work in progress, we go for review. So after review, if it's rejected, it go back to work in progress. So if it's released, it go to the orange color where automatically one PDF will be published. Okay, so this is where we can automate things like create one copy of PDF into maybe a special folder only for shop floor people to access. Okay, so this process we can automate, so it can be automated, so without any human interventions. Okay, so example, and then things like rules. For example, like when we are in the file is in release state, so we can set it to lock. Okay, to prevent any additional modification added to the approved files, so we can lock it. And then we can also control who can unlock it, who can move it to the next stage, or maybe to go back to work in progress. So all these permissions, all this data flow is, of course, before implementation. So this is the information that we require from the customer so that we can preset it into the Vault. Okay, so like example over here, so we have okay, so we have Vault. So engineer one is logging in. So this is maybe we go into some files. So let's say this one. Okay, so I can just change the state. Okay, just change the state from WIP work in progress, change to review. Okay, so but I cannot send it to review for some reason because I set some rules to change the file state from work in progress to review. I need to put some maybe some information into the properties, then only I can proceed. All right. So in this case, we're just creating a visualization file to see how it looks like. Okay, how the drawings it looks like and how the parts looks like. Okay, so now we can see that now is under check by is empty. So my rules is set to before I move work in progress into for review, I need to make sure that the check by information is key in. Okay, there's something in. Okay, so let's say I put everything to engineer 1. So basically engineer 1 already checked the drawing, checked the files. Okay. Then only I am able to change the file state from work in progress to for review. Okay, under review, and then we can add some more comments, check by somebody. Okay. Or this file has already been checked. All right. So once so now this file falls under for review stage. So when we let me just update the view, so we can see now in the drawing files in the title blocks, you can see that it's now showing the file state as under review. It's previously empty, so now it's showing. Sorry, it's under checked by who? Engineer 1. So in this case, it's engineer 1. Okay, so if I go back out and then sign in as other person as lead engineer. So lead engineer is the one who responsible to respond to the for review stage. Okay, so let's say the lead engineer go in and check the files. Okay, check everything is good. So he just need to update engineer approved by. Okay, and then only send it to release. Okay, same things. So we preset some additional rules to move a file from review to release. We need to make sure that it's been signed by the approver. So in this case, by lead engineer. Okay, we can just copy it. So we don't have to type one. Just copy everything. Okay, so one is updated in Vault. So we now can change the state of the file from review to release. Okay, now it's ready to be released to manufacturing. Okay, so just update to just make it like a habit to update to see that it's already shown in the drawings, to make sure that it's I mean everyone else will be able to see the same update as what I'm seeing. In this case, now it's under release. Just wait for it to load. Okay, approved by lead engineer. And then you can see the file is now locked. Okay, to avoid any additional changes after the file has been approved. This is one way of controlling of files. Okay, so that one just now is just the file states. So next is engineering change order. So where like we can assign tasks to somebody. So maybe a team leader create engineering change order, or maybe ECO in shorts. Okay, create it and then assign it to somebody. Okay, so that one person need to work on it and then submit it. So this person next need to work on it. Okay, team leader create and then approve to create a new open ECO. Somebody's working on it, team members working on it, and then submit it. So submit to check. So the person who's do the checking probably maybe lead engineer. Okay, and approve again. Okay, so this is the flow of tasks. Okay, task delegations. Okay, so and then we have items. So what is an item? So you know how bill of materials only get information from the drawings or from the 3D models with all bolt, screw, nuts is already completed, but things like maybe additional grease, okay, white tape needed for the assembly. This kind of information can be added into Vault under item. Okay, so that is like additional to the bill of materials. So it's consumable goods, lubricant, fluids, any artworks. Okay, content library or libraries. So you know how Inventor have its own. So local libraries installed into the PC. So we can create a remote content library where the library is stored in the Vault. Everybody is using a library from Vault. Okay, so it's much beneficial if we always have new update to the library. So we keep on changing in or adding in new size or new standards to the library. Browser experience for easy access. So now Vault also accessible on web browser. Okay, so but of course there are some limitations that what you can do on web browser, but in web browser you can do all this review, markups, approve, drawings, all from the web browser. Okay, simplify and speed up review cycle. So if we want to share to external, so we can share to external. The share and collaborate on visual representation. We are not sending any files to maybe to customer, to supplier, or to contractors to view and give feedbacks. Or okay, so that is shared view. So you can use shared view from within Inventor as well, or from within Vault. So in this case, once we activate the shared view, so we are giving or sharing that link to those person or those people who going to collaborate with us. So that person do not require a license, so they can just view, they can measure, okay, and then they can create markups. Okay, and then all that markups or that comments is stored. You can see on the right hand side is, so all this is tracked. Okay, so let's say a case is resolved, so we can resolve the case and then it will be shown as resolved. Okay, so one central source of truth where all the CAD files be shared into PDMs, okay, and then integrated bomb into ERP system for purchaser and so on. Okay, external collaboration via fusions. So what we can collaborate, so we can send all the like previous examples, the 3D models that have been shared, okay, drawings, documents to external parties. All right, so PDM is not just for engineers, so it's for all. So design engineering team, manufacturing, QA, QS, supply chain, document controller, executive managers, suppliers, end users, IT systems administrator, all can benefit from Vault. Okay, so everyone will have benefit from it. So okay, so a bit of persona. So I use simple personas. I mean, normal persona like engineer, designers. Okay, engineer and designer are able to keeping track of files and also revisions. Teamwork and file sharing is with centralized file. Okay, finding files easily and quickly because you are searching by not just by file name, we also can search by keywords and also by geometry. Okay, easily reusing data from one project or other project to a new projects. Using a tool that is easy to learn and integrate within the flow because Vault is installed and work inside the CAD environment. So it's very easy to use. So it's very comfortable for the most of users. They're saying it's just behaving like AutoCAD. So it's just like AutoCAD. Okay. Engineer or designer, centralized will benefit from centralized location for data or the version tracking, advanced search tool, the copy design, all the best in class. CAD integrations, where Vault works inside all the CAD environments. For project and program managers, so you can track the status and the progress of the files. You can share the information with other departments, reviewing and approving engineering change order. Okay, approving design release. So whether you want to release this drawing or this design into manufacturing or not. So this is one of the benefits. It's all stored. And of course, with every activity, so with every engagement, so anything that you do, we can trigger an email as well. So example, once I approve a drawing, approve the design, so an email will be sent to all the related stakeholders. Okay, you can set it up whether you want to send it or not sending it. Okay. And then not just about managing CAD data. So Vault also helps to manage non-CAD data. So like product spreadsheet, product catalogs, all that related to the projects, you can also store it and manage it from within Vault. Okay, so an examples of some success story. So let me just use this. Reusing design efficiently. So Vault enables this customer called York International. So where to reuse models and assemblies in their new design. So they eliminate rework. Okay, they try to eliminate rework, but they want to drive the reuse of all the existing engineering designs that are available to them. Okay. All right. So now, why do customers choose Vault Solution? So it's reuse engineering knowledge by using all these multi-CAD collaborations. It works on top of the CAD environments. Okay, it's connect to Autodesk platform services where it's scalable, so you can do a lot of things with Autodesk platform services. You can create your own dashboard, you can create your own programs, and also it connects to all the enterprise system to ensure smooth collaboration with other departments. So maybe like purchaser who works with SAP, Oracle. Okay, so after these quick sessions where I shared today, so this is a very quick sessions on data management and Vault. So there's a lot more to be discussed. So what's next? So if you're interested in some of the feature or you want to know more, right? So you can just drop us a text or an email so we can arrange a separate sessions after this to find out more, okay? Because data management or project data management is not something common to all the companies. So every company have its own way of work. Every company have its own standards that they want to protect and they want to enforce. So that requires a bit more understanding. So if you're interested, do drop us an email so we can set a separate sessions to find out more. So basically, so with Vault, right? So you are purchasing the software plus the implementation. So all the let's say you purchase from your preferred resellers, right? So let's say reseller A, example. So you purchase from reseller A, so they will provide the installations, the setting up of the vault according to your company needs and so on. But before that, of course, there's a few stages to understand whether this solution is suitable for you or whether you really require this solution at during the time of inquiry. So where we will run some discovery sessions, tech alignment to align business justification, okay? And then we will do a bit of implementation scoping to understand and to share that how we're going to implement this. Okay, and then the project proposal. So a bit more info. So on stage 1, discovery, tech discovery, business justification, so documented discovery. This is to confirm that both sides agree on the terms and conditions and the solutions, what the solution can do. Surveys of all the hardwares, what's the server, how the server looking at the current days, do you require to buy or to purchase a new server? Okay, of course, a more detailed demonstration will be shown. Okay, business justification like the ROI, the budgeting processes, all will be discussed. Okay, introduction of the customer, the partner who's going to implement. Okay, how's the business process mapping, system integration requirements, so all that. Okay, and then it goes to the project proposal where we plan the project. We need to show you the statement of work, how many days, what's the charge, what we're doing in all these days, and so of course the sign of agreements to proceed with these projects. Okay, so basically this is a little bit different than your normal design application where you purchase, install, and use. Okay, this requires a bit more alignment because it works with data, and also it needs to be implemented. Okay, so you're not buying a software, you're buying the software, application solutions, and also the journey, the implementation journey. Okay, and also the resellers or the partners who's going to implement this to you is going to make sure everybody knows how to use it. And the training will be provided as well as part of the implementation, and maybe like a pilot project kind of thing will be implemented as well. Right.